everyone, in this video we will be writing equation of a line with the form y equals mx plus b, or this is otherwise called as a slope-intercept form, given the tile pattern. So what's going on here is that we have first three tile figures here. So figure 1, figure 2, figure 3. If we count the number of tiles for the first figure, there are 6 tiles. For the second figure here, there are 8 tiles total. For this figure 3 here, there are 10 tiles total. Now the problem here is that if I were to ask you of the number of tiles for figure 75, how many tiles would that be? Or figure 139, how many tiles would that be? So it is very important that we come up with an equation, because once we have an equation, then we can go ahead and use that equation to predict or to determine the number of tiles for the rest of the figure number. So for example, figure 175, how many tiles would there be in that figure? It's not going to be easy to write all the pictures and come up with figure number 75 and count the number of tiles. That's not practical. Using the equation is the easiest way to do it. Okay, so we go over the problem here. So I'll give you a trick on how we can come up with how we draw the fourth and the fifth figure here. So the trick for this is that we color the given picture that we have here. So I'm gonna color this. So there's like 6 tiles for figure 1, and then I will color exactly the same 6 tiles here. So that would be 3 on this side, and then 3 on the other side as well. And then there is 1 on the middle right here. So this is actually the color from figure 1. So from here, I can tell that each of these figures that we have here, it's growing 1 towards this side and it's growing 1 towards this side. So then I can go ahead and figure it out that if there are 1, 2, 3, 4, there should be 5 here. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because again, it's growing by 1. So that means in the next figure that I'm going to have here, there's going to be 6 going to the right. So there's going to be 6 over here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's going to be 6 going down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's 1 in the middle. Now I can predict that there's going to be 7 going to the right. So I'm just going to draw 7 tiles here. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's going to be 7 as well going down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's 1 in the middle. Okay, now in the problem here is we are missing figure 0. So that means we go backwards. Since this one going to the right, it's growing 1 tile for each of the sides here, the left and the bottom side. That means we are going to subtract 1 on the right side and on the bottom side in order that we can figure out, we can come up with figure 0. So pretty much like figure 0 should look like this, because again, we are supposed to, we're going backwards. So we're going to take 1, since it's growing 1 on each, and here it's growing 1, it's growing 1, and it's growing 1, it's growing 1. That means if we go backwards, it's being reduced by 1 on each of the sides. So that means we're going to take these 2 and it's gone, and that's figure 0 right there. So if we count the number of tiles here, so there's going to be 4 on figure 0, and there's going to be 6 on the first figure, figure 1. There's going to be 8 on figure 2. There's going to be 10 on figure 3. On figure 4, there's going to be 12. And on figure 5, there's going to be 14. So as you can see here, we can already come up with an equation in slope-intercept form. So first, what is this growth factor? So what are we going to do is we are going to determine how much does it grow by each time. So to do that, we are going to figure out how much was added to each of the previous number to come up with the next one. So in this one right here, it's added by 2 each time. So 4 plus 2 will come out 6. And then we have 6 plus 2 will come out 8. 8 plus 2 will come out 10. And then we have 10 plus 2 will come out 12. And then 12 plus 2 will come out 14. This is our growth factor, meaning it's growing by 2 each time. So then we can go ahead and write the equation as y equals, we only change the ones that are labeled red. So the growth factor is 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and write 2 here. And then I put the x because it has an x next to it, the m, or the growth factor. So this will be representing my m. So that's the m right there. And then plus the b that we have here is the value of x when, the value of y when x is 0. Please remember that the figure number is representing as our x, and then the tile number represents our y. So then we are going to look for that x, which is 0, and figure out what number that is. It's pairing up with, and it's pairing up with 4. So then I go ahead and write 4. So the equation that would work for this is y equals 2x plus 4, where our y represents the number of tiles and the x represents the figure number. So that if we want to determine figure number 75, so that's going to be a lot of work to draw figure 75 here. That's going to be a lot of tiles that we draw. But this would help us figure out how many tiles there are for figure 75. So all we need to do is to plug in, since we know that the x is represented by the figure number, and that is a 75 there. So we put in the 75 here. So 2 times 75 is 150. 150 plus 4 is 154. So there's going to be 154 tiles for figure number 75. Again, we don't have to draw figure number 75. That's going to be a lot of work. Okay, at this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, and pause it and check your answer. Okay, so we go over the problem here. So again, we have here this equation. This is the equation that we're going to use in slope-intercept form. So starting on with this problem right here. So pretty much, again, we are supposed to draw, we can color this and color it on the next figure so we can figure out how much does it grow by. So I colored the figure 1 here, and this color that I have here, I'm going to color it on figure 2 so I can figure out what's going on. So I will color exactly the same shape as this. So that's going to be 4 on each of the 4 sides. So this was actually figure 1 in this picture. So that means it's growing 1 on each of the sides. So there's like uncolored part right here. This was figure 1, the purple color. So that means each figure is going to grow 1 on each side. So in figure number 3 here, we can predict that there's still gonna be 6 in the middle. And then, but this time around, it's gonna be growing 3 on both ends here. So here, there's gonna be 3, that's 1, 2, and 3. The same thing for this, 1, 2, and 3. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So the same thing for this, 1, 2, and 3. So that's figure number 3. And then if we want to figure out the picture for figure number 4, so it's going to be again 6 in the middle. So that's 6 right there. And then since it's growing by 1, that's 3 right here. So I'm going to have 4 on each of the sides. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the same thing for the fifth figure here. The same thing. There's going to be 6 in the middle. So that's 6 right there. And since there are 4, we're adding 1 on each of the sides. So there's going to be 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's figure number 5 right there. So if we count, if we go backwards, since it's growing 1 on each of the ends, it's growing 1. So that means we take this to figure out what was figure 0. So pretty much figure 0 is the middle 6 tiles. So this is figure 0. So what's going on is that since we're adding 1 on each of the 4 corners, so we're adding 1 there, we're adding another 1, so we're adding 1 on each of the corners. It's growing by 1 on each of the corners. So that means the original or the figure 0 should just be this central 6 tiles that we have here. So if we count this number of tiles here for 0, there's going to be 6 tiles. Again, please remember that figure number is represented as letter X and the number of tiles is represented as Y variable. So figure 1, there's gonna be 6, 7, 8, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's gonna be 10 tiles. Figure number 2 here will be 14 tiles. And then this is going to be figure 3 is 18. And then figure 4 would be 22. And then figure 5 would be 26. And then from here, we can figure out our equation. So remember that the m is the growth factor. How much does it grow by each time? So in this problem right here, we are adding 4 each time. So that's going to be plus 4 on all of them. So that's plus 4 and plus 4. So this is our m. M is the growth factor. So then we can go ahead and write the equation as y equals the growth factor. M is 4. And then we have an x plus the starting point, or whenever the x is 0, we figure out what is the value of y. So this, we circle this because again, we want the x is 0. So that's a 6. So we go ahead and write y equals 4x plus 6 is the equation that would work for this problem right here. So if I were to ask for the 50th figure, so figure number 50, again, it's not okay. Yeah, it's okay. You can do that, but it will take you a lot of time. You're not going to be saving time to draw 50 figures all the way to 50. So you're going to draw figure 6, 7, all the way to 50. That's going to be a lot of work. The equation is going to help us figure that out like really quick. So that would be remember that the x is represented as figure number, and this is the x, so we plug in the x here. So 4 times 50 is 200, plus 6 is 206. So that means figure 50 will have 206 tiles put together. Did you get the same answers as this? Good, perfect. If you find this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more math videos. See ya!